Hi, how's it going? Today we want to talk a little bit about projection in the organization. It's a simple thing and it won't take long to go over, but essentially projection is mentally putting onto another what you believe they are thinking. So unless you're a mind reader, psychic, something like that, putting thoughts or motives onto others that is inside of you is really a pitfall. Why is that? Because the thing that follows typically is, well, I thought you were thinking this. I thought you believed that. I thought, it started out with I thought. Now we want to encourage thinking all the time, but we don't want to project our thinking into the minds and hearts of others. We don't know the motives of others until they act on those motives or act on those words or deeds or act within that scope. So it's a pitfall, right? You don't want to project onto others anything that you have in your mind. You want to validate that. You want to ask. You want to verify, because what you're seeing may lead you to believe what you're projecting or reinforce it. But you got to be careful. That's a slippery slope. It would be like projecting it onto an employer that, oh, well, they really hate us. They really don't care about us. That's projection. That isn't reality. You made that up in your head. Now, there may be incidents where department leader, manager, supervisor, somebody who was in charge over people actually did something wrong. But that doesn't necessarily mean that what was done wrong was done on purpose. Of course, the scope of this could be anything, right? But that it was done on purpose, A, but also you don't know if that was intentional and what the motive was behind it. Maybe something that was done wasn't done to hurt anybody. Maybe it was done and there was just a misunderstanding. So misunderstandings are significant when it comes to projection, because you're putting onto somebody else, you're misunderstanding their entire intent, their entire being, their entire focus. So it's a very slippery slope. You want to verify and validate what you're seeing, what you're hearing, repeat it back, make sure it is what it is, and then don't fall in the trap of projecting. It would be like going to a city and saying, well, the drivers in this city, they're all terrible drivers and they don't know how to drive. Now, somebody might say that out of frustration, right? They're not saying that on the soapbox. That being said, is that true? No, it's not true, right? That's a generalization. And it's a generalization based on what? Projecting. So you're projecting what you feel onto others, and they don't know it. So you're also passing a judgment too, right? So projecting is also passing judgment and not being open-hearted, open-minded, and keeping yourself open to the possibility of certain situations. But with all things, measure it, validate it, make sure it is what it is, and then go from there. And then handle everything up front. Any conflicts up front, not behind the scenes. Don't fall into the other pitfalls we talked about, like passive aggressiveness or anything like that. Well, that's all we have for this episode. We'll see you next time.